All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's version of hashtag Make Procurement Awesome with SAP Ariba. Today, Jackie Benigni is joining me from the Citrix organization, and I'm very excited to have this conversation with Jackie. Jackie's actually an SAP Ariba customer. She brings a lot of energy to her program, so I really wanted to have the conversation to talk about her experience and her customer journey. So, Jackie, welcome. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Amina. Thank you so much for inviting me and participating. I love to share our story and help as many people as possible.
All right, awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I have a few questions for you. Can you just share with the listeners a little bit about how long you've been a customer of SAP Ariba and what solutions you've implemented at Citrix?
So we began our journey back in 2014 when we implemented our sourcing module. But ever since 2014, we've implemented our contract module, procure to pay, spend visibility, and Fieldglass. I think one of the key differentiators of our implementation is that in June 2015, we took an aggressive approach for the buying module, and we turned off SRM for 9,000 employees and then turned on SAP Ariba globally for those same 9,000 employees. We really believed in what we were doing, so we took it upon ourselves to just roll this out. If you're going to go, you're going to better go big. That's our approach in our implementation.
Super aggressive. I love it. Okay, so you know what? That's going to lead me to my next question. So I wanted to talk to you about, one of the things that we've been talking a lot about is the change management keys to success. We have the 12 keys to success guidance that we give customers. I've shared that with you before. What would you say were the top 3 keys to success that were instrumental in your program?
So I am going to say there were 4. I'm going to go, and I know you asked me for 3, but I'm really going to tell you what the 4
Well, let me stop by saying all 12 are really important. So go ahead. You can expand the 3 and go to 4, whichever ones are most impactful for you guys.
So I would tell you flight planning. The key to automation is supplier enablement. It's not only from an end user experience that they get to use the most out of the tool and really feel and get the benefits of SAP Ariba, but it's also from our supplier perspective and to build your business case. We focus a lot on basically having catalogs, and that catalogs is the key to automation. The true key to automation is really having a robust supplier enablement program and having your flight plan. People get to partner, people get to understand, and if the way that we approached it was right off the bat, right from implementation, you have the opportunity to get the benefits from the tool, and that's the most important part. Success measurements, sometimes you need to define what your KPIs are prior to go live or what success is going to look like for your organization, and that doesn't mean that you're going to stay stuck with those specific measures. You have to be able to adapt. So what you decided to measure at the beginning of your implementation, as you mature, it doesn't have to be the exact same measurements. This is a cloud-based solution, so the on-premise way of understanding success is not applicable. You need to be able to have flexibility within your success measurements and have them change and evolve. Just because you've been measuring something for X number of months doesn't necessarily mean that you have to adapt it as you're going through your maturity curve. Process refinement, from our experience, we really took a lot of our broken processes and we put them in the tool, expecting to have the tool do the process redesign. And the truth is you really need to have and be part of continuous improvement to refine your processes, because even if they're broken outside of the tool, when you implement Ariba, they're still going to be broken, just in a shiny new toy. So process refinement is definitely important, and training. You need to make sure that your procurement team is really trained appropriately, that they're empowered to drive the change, that they have a holistic understanding on how all the solutions across the modules work, so they can truly support the business throughout the change. It's so important for the procurement team in any part, in any area of the procurement organization, for them to be bought into this, because they're going to be able to drive and really share with people what that vision is and deal with the business on the day-to-day. You don't get to deal with the business on a day-to-day. They do. So if you train them properly, they'll be able to train the business properly at the same time.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so just to recap, you said flight planning, success measurement, process refinement, and training. And I love what you said about each
Yes.
one of those, right? I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head with each one. And, especially success measurement, how you refine your KPIs as you get more sophisticated after you implement. You don't just keep the same measurement goals, but you get better, you get smarter, you get faster, and it evolves with your program. So thank you for sharing that. So can you tell me a little bit about your mindset going into your implementation, right? I mean, a digital transformation is really a big undertaking. What was your mindset going into this program? And I'm asking you specifically this question because I think you have fantastic energy, and I know you brought a lot of that with you to the program. So I just wanted you to share a little bit about, how did you go about, maybe exciting your team, exciting the organization, et cetera, to be successful in this journey?
Honestly, it was really about letting them know this is a new way of working, accept it and move on, right? I think, the way things were is no more. So you have to adapt and you have to evolve. And yes, there's some things that are not necessarily going to work exactly how you plan them to be, but really showing people from a cross-functional perspective that you're there to support and that you're hand in hand to be able to grow with them. I think, it's a brand new tool, so don't really focus on what you used to do. Take what you used to do and everything you disliked about it, and now try to grow it and build this new tool to enjoy your day-to-day work, because you want to be able to come in the office and enjoy your day-to-day work. And it was empowering my team. I really believe in team and how people are the asset that make this thing work. And it was about empowering them. Make them feel that they were part of them. Make them feel that making a mistake is okay. I tell my guys all the time, I expect you to make mistakes. I want you to make mistakes because that's how you're going to be able to grow. Mm-hmm. And when you implement this, sometimes you're so worried about it going exactly according to the project plan that you forget that your biggest allies are those mistakes that are going to open up the pathway for the innovation that you need to have breakthrough results.
Right, right. That's excellent. Yeah, hopefully you're learning valuable lessons from those mistakes and getting better as you move forward. All right, great. So can you share one of your top lessons learned? So one of the things I always hear is, especially, if you go to conferences or customer success days, customers are usually talking about, what went well and not necessarily maybe what didn't go well and what may have been a lesson that they learned. So can you share some of your top lessons learned as you went through the process?
I think one of the key lessons was forget everything you did to manage an on-prem solution. So if you had an on-prem solution before and you have an identity of how things were supposed to work from an on-prem solution, you need to find a new identity in managing your solution in the cloud because it's very different. It changes. You need to have flexibility in your processes. And I think that's one of the things that we ended up having to learn. We try to implement this the same way that you would implement an on-prem solution instead of really adapting to the fact that there are going to be changes, that it's evolving because the market is evolving, and you have to adapt to that flexibility. So finding the new identity within the cloud was definitely a lesson learned that we put back. And continuous improvement, right? It was broken before. Don't put your broken process in the new tool. And try to improve your process. And it doesn't need to be perfect. Don't get in the way of good enough. Yeah. You're going to discover things as you go through it. So go through it, suffer a little for a short amount of time, but it's going to give you the opportunity to drive continuous improvement outside of a buzzword. So if the process works halfway or half-baked, but it can give you, and help you build a business case for your leadership team to continue to invest, to continue to believe in a value proposition. So then go down that path and remember to have checkpoints for yourself to have the flexibility to improve and adapt.
Yeah, I love that. Agility and flexibility are so crucial in this environment, right? And just being able to move at a fast pace and don't let perfect get in the way of getting better, right? Great advice. Thank you.
Exactly.
So can you share with the listeners some of the value that your organization has been able to realize as a result of using the SAP Ariba solutions?
I think one of the biggest dreams or the dreams within procurement within the last years have been separating transactional and strategic, right? Making sure that your team can really invest their time in value-added activities. The data that we have been able to gather by leveraging the SAP Ariba tools has been incredible. We have been able to identify areas of opportunities that needed to be developed, and we have been able to implement holistic solutions with cross-functional teams in mind because of all the information we're able to get. We have so much information and so many different ways to connect it that now we're really able to, not only within procurement, within accounts payable, accounting, finance, and even the business, to let them know, hey, we're able to automate our end-to-end transactions. We're able to drive value proposition and drive value within your organization. So your resources can now really invest their time in what they're supposed to be doing instead of manually intensive work. I think that our organization, that has been one of the results of using the Ariba solution, is that we're getting to that stage now from a procurement standpoint because we've been able to standardize and automate the operations.
All right, excellent. And data is going to be so crucial as we, move into the future of procurement, right? I think one of a quote I heard earlier or yesterday was actually data is going to be the new oil that really makes, things run, right? And the insights that we're going to be able to get from data to make good business decisions or better business decisions. All right, well, that's all the questions I had for you, Jackie. Thank you so much for sharing this wealth of information. I did want to bring up, you guys, Citrix did win an award over the past year.
Yes, we won the Procurement Leaders Award for 2017 for transformation.
Awesome.
So we have been going through this transformation journey, and SAP Ariba and the tools and leveraging the tools was a key element for us to be able to achieve that transformation. So we were recognized in London earlier this year through the Transformation Award from the Procurement Organization.
Excellent. Well, it sounds like you guys have done an amazing job. So thank you so much for sharing your story with our listeners. And thank you for joining this hashtag Make Procurement Awesome podcast by SAP Ariba.
Thank you, Amina. Thank you for having me.
That concludes our session. Thank you for joining us for this episode in our hashtag Make Procurement Awesome with SAP Ariba podcast series. This series is delivered by subject matter experts from SAP Ariba who are committed to doing just that, helping our customers make procurement awesome. For more information, please visit www.ariba.com, or for access to all of our podcasts, please visit our iTunes page. Thank you.